What's going on? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This week's video is going to be up the games coming to retail the week of February 4th. We have a great lineup of games. Some of these games are actually ones I've been looking forward to. Some of these are really good bangers. I mean, I cannot wait for them to come out, and I can't wait to try them for the first time. So keep in mind, I am battling a sinus infection right now as well as a sore throat. So if I have to make a rough cut on the video, you're going to see a rough cut only because I either have to blow my nose or I went on a coughing spree. So let's get this video going. Let's talk about some really awesome games. Keep in mind, covering the games coming to retail in the US. Also keep in mind, if the game's retail date changes, retail release date changes, I'll make sure to update about that change in its new respective video. Let's show off some games. Coming out February 5th by QVO Games is Salton Sea. Salton Sea is so the theme itself, right? It's a board game, of course, now, but the theme itself is based off a lake that is a salted lake in California, close to the border of Mexico. There's like geothermal energy and such that's generated from here. And in this game, you're kind of taking advantage of that, and you're trying to send your engineers, not advantage of that, you're sending out your engineers to do what the sea is doing best, right? You're trying to buy into the theme in this way. The game has some hand management, contracts, market, worker placements, all that stuff. In the game, you're going to be sending your workers out. Your workers are your little engineers, the worker placement part. And when they go to a location on the board, you're going to when you go to location on the board, you're going to activate one of three things. It's either going to be the industrial action, the commercial action, or you're going to be the management action. And each one has a specific things. Your goal with your meeples and your little workers, you're going to send them out and try to do the most efficient thing you can do for your company here with your engineers. Very straightforward worker placement game. Generate more points, activate, be the best, most resourceful with your workers and meeples. It's very straightforward. I will be honest, the theme doesn't really drag me in here. It doesn't really do anything for me just because, like, I don't know, the theme just kind of seems a little bland to me. However, QVO has been doing a lot of really cool things. Like, they have a lot of really, really cool games coming out, and I'm a big fan of worker placement games as well. So, I'm curious. I want to give it a shot. Like I said, I love worker placement, and it's the worker placement game. It's just usually themes like this aren't really something that drags me in. The mechanics have to be really, really good, and the art on the board itself isn't really doing much for me. It looks really well done. It looks like a beautiful board, though. However, that's just kind of my take on that. Salton Sea, coming out February 5th, and it's going to be by QVO Games. Moving on to Imperium Horizons by Osprey Publishing, coming out to you on February 6th. Imperium Horizons. This is going to be a standalone expansion. You can play this with Imperial Classics or Legends. It just kind of adds more civilizations to the pool of selections you can do. Game's been out for a while. One of the biggest things about this game, before I move on, is before I continue with explaining the game itself, I just want to highlight this. The card art that's beautiful. I think they have some really great art. And I have to go to BGG to find the art. I'm really sad that Osprey isn't putting this as a picture on their website because the art is gorgeous. They have so many good cards. Like, the card art is awesome. I really want to highlight that because it's one of the big things where, like, I think publishers miss out on, like, highlighting about a game. It's like one of the strongest elements behind it is, like, it looks gorgeous. It looks like a beautiful game. Haven't played the game myself, so I really can't comment too much on the gameplay. However, I just think that is awesome. Okay, awesome. Moving on, Imperium Horizons, the standalone expansion, which you can be mixed in with Legends or Classics, which are the other Imperium games. In this game, it's a civilization-style game with deck building involved. It does some innovative stuff. And you kind of, when you're going in, it does give you that feel of, like, from reading the rulebook, like Age of Empire almost, or one of those, like, sim games, and they kind of evolve that and bring that into the tabletop format, which is pretty interesting. A lot of people have tried, and I think Imperium so far was one that from reading it out and reading the rulebook, looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Past that, there is so much content and so many reviews out. I definitely recommend looking it up and researching yourself. Imperium Horizons is, like, basically, like I said, it's just an expansion box to the other ones. So if you want to buy, like, a smaller version of the game, Imperium Classics and Legends, I'm sure, would be good enough. But Horizons is, like, a bigger box with more content in it. I'm usually one that I like more, right? I always want more in everything. It's just a really bad habit of mine when it comes to board games. It's what I do. Asymmetric, card-based, deck-building civilization game. That's the biggest thing I can take away from this. Even reading the rulebook, it does seem a little chunky of a game, like a little medium complexity. Past that, I have no clue. Check it out, try it. Don't take my opinion for what it is, and just try the game out yourself as well. Do the best thing for both of us. This is coming out to you on February 6th, Imperium Horizons by Osprey Publishing. Moving on to the Easter Escapade Holiday Hijinks by Grand Gamers Guild, coming out on February 7th. Very straightforward here. This is just an escape room style game, but they only use 18 cards, which is pretty interesting. And I'm rolling to the bottom here because you can see they have a bunch of different ones. Uh, I am not good at these escape style games. I am pretty good at them in real life, like an escape room. But when it comes to the games, I'm usually really bad at them. I'm like asking for hints 24/7 or using their hint system to get it. But 18 cards, that's pretty interesting. And it's also app based, by the way. So as you do stuff with the cards, you input into the app and then you work off of that. This one just throws in like the Easter theme into it. And there's of course like other ones, Pumpkin Problem must be Halloween, the Kringle Capers, Christmas and such. It just there's a bunch of those things, like different themes that kind of bring into that. That's really what it is. I don't want to go too much deeper into it, over explain it. It's an escape room style game with 18 cards and an app. If you like those style games, check it out. I kind of curious to see how that works. I do want to get more into these games just because I have so much fun doing real escape rooms that I want to go back into these and see if maybe I can try these out better. Even though I'm really bad, so far my luck with them has been my experience with them has been extremely bad. But we'll see. I want to try it out again. This is the Easter Escapade Holiday Hijinks number 8 by Grand Gamers Guild, coming out to you on February 7th. Moving on to the next one is going to be by Bezier Games, called Blueprints of Madking Ludwig, coming out to you on February 7th. This specific game looks pretty cool. It looks really interesting, actually. It's kind of like a flip and sketch mechanic, right? You're going to go through and you're going to be flipping cards over and then sketching in, building your castle, essentially, with your blueprints. I don't know why, but I am really intrigued. I really want to try it out. This game reminds me a lot of like other flip and sketch, flip and write games style of games. Same thing. You're going to be putting in your room pieces, and when you draw them in, you're going to be putting them in specific positions to unlock new things on your board and get new points and such like that. Very straightforward flip and sketch, flip and write style game. However, something about this game is like, I love the way they kind of intervene mechanics with the room placement. I really want to give it a shot and try it out. And of course, I'm showing you right now the deluxe version of the game that is on their website right now for sale. I love deluxe versions of games. I love deluxe 5 components. I just, when the components are deluxified, it just kind of brings you in a little more. So I love that. So the price is pretty high. It's at $79.95 US, but you can modify that, and there's also a simpler one, so you can try that as well. Don't let the price scare you away. Usually with flip and write, flip and sketch style games, yeah, definitely that is a really high price tag, in my opinion. But deluxified copies and such, I'm all for it. I want to try it out. So, Bezier Games, Blueprints of Madking Ludwig, coming out to you on February 7th. Moving on to the next one, Town 77 by Oink Games, coming out to you on February 7th as well. Town 77, Oink Games, first and foremost, has done a lot of really big hits of like small box games. Like a lot of things they do have been taken by storm by like the community, right? They love their games. Town 77 is an interesting one, and I actually do think it's going to be a fun one as well. You can play it solo or play it multiplayer as well. I'm going to scroll down a little bit to show you some pictures. In this game, it's a tile placement style game, right? And it's a puzzle. Your goal is people in Town 77 do not like it when houses look alike or in the same row, or column. So for example, in this picture you're looking at, your whole goal is to basically organize your tiles or organize the town in a way where nothing is touching, essentially. Nothing's touching. Organize the town with different shapes in the houses. So you can't have the same shape of house in the same row or column, because the town people wants it to be different. It reminds me a little bit like maybe Sudoku puzzle strategy style games, crossword puzzles even. That's, I don't know, sounds fun. I want to give it a shot. I want to try it out, and I want to give it a shot and play the game. Looks like a small box game. So the cool part about small box games lately is that they are easy to take with you anywhere and not hard to store. Town 77, that's really what it is. It's a really simple, straightforward tile placement game, and it has a little bit of Sudoku vibe, puzzle vibe to it. Coming out to you on February 7th by Oink Games. Our last game is going to be French Quarter by 25th Century Games. French Quarter buys into the same series by Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback and Adam Hill. It's like from Fleet the Dice Game to Three Sisters to Motor City. In French Quarters, you're trying to spend the best day in New Orleans, Louisiana, NOLA. By doing so, you're going to go in, you're going to have your 8-hour trip, and you're going to go around different places and try to have the most fun out of everybody. And you're doing so, you have dice in the, you're going to detach from the card row, and you're going to be inputting them into your player sheet and such. Typical roll and write style game, right? And when you're inputting them in, you're trying to do your best to maximize your fun to get the most points in the game. That's the gist and what I got out of it from reading the rulebook. Looks interesting. I wouldn't sleep on this game too much, only because I think Three Sisters and Fleet the Dice Game were phenomenal. I haven't played Motor City myself, so I can't say anything about those, but I thought Fleet the Dice Game and Three Sisters were amazing games. So they're doing a really good job here, so keep an eye on this one. It's French Quarter. Much past that, it's just a roll and write style game. You're going to go in, try to have plan the best day in NOLA. That's the gist of it. Check it out, French Quarters by 21st Century Games, coming out on February 7th. Thank you for making this fun to the video. It was a pretty fast video, and I'm trying really hard not to have like a coughing fit, as my voice is already drying up extremely fast. Thanks for making this fun to the video. I appreciate it. If you made it this far, if you wouldn't mind dropping a comment, like, subscribe, and letting us know what game you are picking up this week in the comment section. It can be one of the games we mentioned here, or one of the games that maybe a game you've been saving up money to buy later. Let me know. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Have a good one.